My husband, my soon-to-be ex-husband, is an actor. I know, red flag, number one, right there. But he made me laugh, and he still makes me laugh. He's still the funniest man I've ever met. And we got really swept up in things. We got married very quickly after meeting. We had our first 2 kids very quickly after getting married. And because he is an actor and work isn't as steady for him, he stayed at home with our first 2 kids while I worked. And I will forever be grateful that he did that, because it allowed me to build up a design portfolio and build up a really loyal clientele list and really, really excel in my design business. And I have a very, very successful business because he stayed at home with our 2 oldest. When our third came, 8 years later, I was able to stay at home with her because we had the financial security and I had the job security. I will forever be grateful to Daniel that he stayed home with the kids. But he doesn't see mess. He doesn't see it. And he doesn't load the dishwasher because I do it better. And if he tried to cook a meal, he'd just burn it. So I do it. I know, like I see it now. I didn't see it at the time. I would come home from work and the kids, he loves the kids love him. He is their whole world. But I would come home and I would have to tidy up the mess from their play. I would have to calm the kids down and get them to do their homework. I would have to get everyone to sit round the dinner table and eat a nutritious dinner with vegetables because he wasn't going to do it. I was the mean parent. I would come home from work. I would open that door and I would feel it. I would feel the joy and the fun get sucked out of the room because mum was home. And it made me feel like an absolute monster. And I thought it was me. I thought that feeling was me. I thought it was guilt. And I realised now it was resentment. I resented him for being the 4th kid that I had to take care of. And then our youngest started school. So Daniel went back to work. He did some voice acting and it was pretty steady. It was pretty good. He wasn't in the house as much, which meant that it was tidier. It was calmer. It was quieter. And I realised I didn't miss him when he was gone. And I sat and really thought about it. If my husband wasn't here, what would I actually miss? And I came up with one thing. And this is sad and terrible, I know, but I would miss getting free makeup samples from his brother, who is a makeup artist. That's what I'd miss. That shouldn't be the only thing I miss about my husband. I love my husband. And then I started to notice that our middle child, our son, our only boy, was turning into his dad. He was becoming his dad. He had his personality. And it filled me with a fear and dread that I can't even explain. And I kept wondering, but why is this filling me with dread? He's like Daniel, he's like his dad. That should make me happy because I love my husband. Right? And it didn't. It made me worried. It just gave me this sinking feeling. And then my son, he started kind of messing around in school, getting in trouble in school. His grades started to slip and I knew I had to do something. His birthday was coming up. He really wanted a birthday party. I cancelled the birthday party. I knew that I needed to do something so he didn't end up like his dad. And that was a hard thought to have. I remember the day of his birthday, so I was still at work. And just thinking about that over and over again and knowing when I get home, we need to have a serious talk about our marriage and what that looks like. So I left work, I picked up a cake, because it was his birthday, and I pulled in to the end of our street and the police were there. I thought something had happened to my children. And he was talking about how there was noise complaints. I knew it was our house. Of course it was our house. I get to our house. And when I say it was a circus, I don't mean that metaphorically. There were zoo animals in the house. A goat ate my begonias. There was a pony in the hallway. It started eating my son's birthday cake. The music was blaring. I couldn't hear anything. There were dozens of children running around the house, jumping on the furniture. I'm an interior designer. I don't know if I said that. They trashed my house. I had to get it cleaned and redecorated. They trashed it. My husband, my soon-to-be ex-husband, you're seeing why now, was dancing on a table with my son. A beautiful table that I got at auction. I had to spend so much money getting it cleaned. He couldn't pay to get the cleaning done. Do you know what he did that day? He quit his job. He didn't like the voice acting he was being made to do. He didn't like what the director wanted. So he quit. And he wonders why I wanted a divorce. The pony ate the cake. He couldn't see how any of that was wrong. He thought I was the bad guy in that situation. And if you think that the story couldn't possibly get any wilder,